Threshing in the Shadows. Episode 1. The Boy Who Hid. Benara, a forsaken village wedged between the North African desert sands and beautiful green meadows. The Benaran people spoke in low voices and walked with eyes cast down. It was safer that way. No one wanted any outside attention, especially during harvest season. By age 12, Kael could carry a sack of wheat without making a sound. He knew how to listen for hoofbeats on the horizon, how to slip behind a stone wall before they came too close. Who? The Zakaras. The Zakaras were worse than desert storms. You couldn't wait them out. They came when they pleased. They took what they pleased, stayed as long as they wanted, and laughed as they left. They were hideous and merciless. The Benarans were no match for them, so they hid. Kael knew the rhythm of hiding. Year after year, the Zakaras ravaged his people and any villages as they pleased. That year, the rains had been kind. Barley had risen tall, and lambs were being born early. Just as hope bloomed in the fields, so did an unsettling fear. The people wanted to be happy, but instead, they wandered about quietly, never speaking openly of the Zakaras, as if refusing to speak their names would keep them away. It never worked. They always came back. You just never knew when. Sometimes at the beginning of the harvest, and other times, it seemed that they waited until the last harvest. Just when you thought you could breathe, they would blow in like a violent storm. Kael had been tying bundles with his older brother when the horn blew from the ridge. That sound, they all knew it. It turned the spine to dust. They all dreaded it, but they knew what to do. "Run," his brother whispered hurriedly. They ran, but didn't go home. Homes were the first places the raiders checked. Instead, they ran with a handful of others to the cliffs where the caves waited, half-forgotten shelters hollowed by wind and time. It was a labyrinth of twisted tunnels that outsiders dare not enter for fear. There, they watched through narrow cracks as the Zarakas poured in like locusts. They took the grain, burned what they didn't want, smashed tools, overturned carts, laughing the whole time. When the smoke finally settled, Kael sat with his back against a cold rock, silent, fists clenched around a useless sling. Daran, his father, found them hiding deep in the caves that night, his face covered with dust and ash. "They've gone. We can go home now," he said. "But they'll come back," Kael replied. His father stood there speechlessly, with disappointment and shame in his eyes. It was true. What could he say? Join us next time for Episode 2. Shalom.